Okay, everybody, I hope you got a lot out of that first session. It's really important that you learn how to use the website that they give us. It's a great system. Understand the numbers. I've always been big on understand what you have, understand the numbers, understand how the website works, make sure you know what it is that you're doing. So what we're going to do from here is go through some more of that background so you've got a bit more of an understanding. We need to make sure that we understand what we're doing. And I'm going to start this off by why buy a multi-pack. Carolyn talked about the income streams. So let's get a little bit more in depth for that. So for the buyer, multi-packs have gold. The first version of the multi-packs with the points had points and a little bit of gold. These multi-packs have a lot more gold in them. They are very, very good value. So if you understand how to use this business, it creates an environment where you've got the ability to add an additional stream of income, which is cash gold. And that is something that you absolutely need to pay attention to. Because without the cash gold in the system, we're just another savings program. But what we're saving in is gold, baby. These are the best value packs that you have. There are other packs. There are business packs. Please don't use a business pack when you register somebody because they end up with a cardboard box, a couple of grams of gold, that's it. Get a multi-pack. It's the same money. It adds income streams that aren't there with the other ones. It's a great, great system. They are the best value pack because of the gold and the gold income stream that they add. So for the seller, let's be really plain about this. If the seller plans to register anyone in the next 6 months, whether it be by accident or not, they need a multi-pack because the free gold that they earn down through a number of levels makes it worthwhile. And the commission is paid in euros because once you have a multi-pack, you are in the business. You're in the business side of it. Tenths of gold, not grams or whatever. Have I got a typo in there? Okay, so we'll come back and check that out later. But make sure that you understand the gold. Now I'm going to run through these packs so you get a bit of an understanding of the cost and the benefit. So when you register someone, and there is a cheaper version, there is a €75 version, we'll touch on that in a few minutes, but it doesn't get you a status in the dual team. And Carolyn's just gone through that process and explained why the dual team is so important. I have people in my business today that have hundreds of people in their teams and not registered anyone. That's why the dual team is so important. So the 180 pack for the buyer, and look, I found this new tool here now. Watch this. Look at this. How cool is that? The €180 pack creates an income of €40 per cycle, and they get 0.6 grams of gold with that. The seller earns €18 direct commission and 0.1 grams of cash gold. Now, please remember to use the bonus codes. We're going to talk about that a couple of times as we go through this, but that's has another impact on it. So the next level bronze is €340, still gets you €40 per cycle, but you get a full gram of cash gold. And what happens for the seller is there's €34 direct commission and 0.3 grams of cash gold. So you can see that they get better as they go along. If you move up to a silver, which is where I tend to start people, it's €595. It's €50 per cycle. They get 1.5 grams of cash gold. And the seller there's 59 euros of commission plus 0.4 grams of cash gold. That's a really good deal. And it goes down 3 active levels. Let's look at the gold system, 2,200 euros, 60 euros per cycle, 6.5 grams of cash gold. Again, for the seller, 220 euros, 0.5 grams of cash gold. The dual team bonuses, all of that is in place down through 5 active levels. Now, I'm going to just run through these. I'm going to come back and tell you how to get all of this for free. 34.50 gets you a VIP pack. That gets you 80 euros per cycle. Now, please pay attention to this bit. If you're a VIP, you're going to do exactly the same amount of work as a 180 euro bronze, but you're going to get 80 euros per cycle, not 40 euros per cycle. 0.6 grams of gold here, 10 grams of gold here. So that's why there's more money involved in the setup of the pack. And look what happens for the seller. 345 euros commission, 0.8 grams of cash gold, down 7 active levels. Now, if you register as a bronze and you then register someone as a VIP.
Shut the fuck up. Holy shit, bro. Nobody fucking asked. You scamming. Stop fucking muting me, bitch. I'll beat your motherfucking ass. I'll mute me again. I'll fucking hack you, bitch. Fucking scamming, fucking pyramid scamming motherfucker, bro.
How do we... Don't know where he came from.
Well, it's not me.
Anyway, so we'll get back to this. So there's 0.8 grams of cash gold there. So you do exactly the same amount of work, you do accrue the gold. Now, where's my thing here? And you go up to the 4,900 pack, and I'm going to show you the big difference when you use the codes. So here we go with 80 euros per cycle, same as a VIP, 1.4 grams of cash gold, down 7 active levels. So that's an interesting overview when you think that on all of those positions you do exactly the same amount of work, it's just the payments that you get. Remember to use the bonus codes. So here I'm going to show you how the bonus codes work and where they get used. So let's pick a 4,900 pack because the bonus codes deliver a 10% commission and 10% discount as well. So when you get a discount off someone's 4,500 pack, that's a chunk of discount that they get, but you still get the commission on the full amount. It doesn't affect the commissions. However, bonus codes must be installed on the new affiliates dashboard before the purchase of a pack. Just make sure that you understand completely that they must be installed on the dashboard of the new person before you try and buy the pack to make them work. So this is where you get the digital bonus codes from. You go to My Gold up here, and you'll see that these codes here, the first one is not used because I just picked somewhere in the middle to start. It tells you what user ID was using the program, and it's an amazing end of the process where you keep track of who uses the bonus codes. So if you make sure that you understand where they're coming from, keep a track of them. It will tell you what's used and what is not used. So please understand how to get them. Go to My Gold, slide down the menu. There's a menu item that says Digital Bonus Codes. That's where you get them from. Now this is where they go. So on the front page of the new person, please submit profit card number, the number in there, click submit, and it will give you a 10% bonus discount, when you go to the next package, when you get to the next part of the checkout, when you're buying the pack. So here's what the multi-packs get us in gold. MPG1, multi-gold pack 1, €75. Notice I said there's no dual team status. So that's something that you need to be aware of. There is no dual team status in that. What we need to look for is these packs that have a dual team status. That's a number of the income streams that come through the dual team system. So €180 is the first point you can get in with a dual team status. It has 2 units in the system. Matching bonus is covered for 2 weeks. At some stages, I'm going to talk about that. Don't panic. That is only the matching bonus. And yes, you accrue gold through packages. It's an amazing growth curve when you see, we're going to run through the maths on a €4,900 pack in a moment. So gets you VIP, 100 units, 12 months, etc. Now, we were talking about the multi-gold packs and what was involved with them. When you buy a pack as a new affiliate, your first pack has these qualification dates. The packs 1 to 4 last 6 months.
Well, that's not what you're getting.
5, 6, and 7, 6 months, and then 12 months. If you look at them in general, so I've already got a pack. If I buy another pack, if I buy a multi-pack 5, my qualification in the dual team is only 3 months because I've already got a dual team status. I've already got a pack. So they're expecting us to expand the business to cope with that level of growth. So it doesn't, for a new person, it's a flat rate, these terms here. So for a brand new person that germs up, gets a pack, they got 6 months. If they're going to register someone in the next 6 months, they will benefit from that pack. So let's look at a €4,900 pack. Use a bonus card. It delivers 10% discount for the buyer. So €4,900 gives them €490 immediately off the top of the price. They pick up 15 grams of gold. So on today's pricing, that's about €1,159.20. That's in total $1,649. They've just knocked off the price of their package. Now, $1,649 brings that down to a very reasonable amount of money for what they get, which is approximately 33% either gold or discount. And that number, that 33%, roughly works out across the spread of the packs if you use a discount code, bonus code, whatever you want to call them. Thought I'd changed all of these, but I missed that one. It used to be profit cards, now they're bonus codes. So let's get to talking about some of the main issues that we've had. Karatbar's mission is to supply gold in small increments so we can sell gold in affordable amounts, as Carolyn talked about early on. And that's a real key component of what we're talking about. It gives everybody access to the gold ecosystem. Karat Pay is the global gold payment system that we're using. Now, it's not completed yet. It is underway. We will be putting univals into the Karat Pay system. Now, univals we'll talk about in a second. Carrotbit is a proprietary trading platform. So you make your own gold on Carrotbit. We're going to do a whole nother series on how to put money in, swap it from one thing to the next and then back and then out the other side. We'll have that done for you in the next few weeks. You can technically make your own gold in Carrotbit. Unival, UNV, stands for universal value. It's a simple way to describe digitally real physical gold. It's not a process that you can really do in real time unless you have something like blockchain. And that's why Carrot Pay is going to be so good in the future. They're going to be able to create an environment where you have the ability to build our own gold system and pay people with gold. It hasn't ever happened before quite like this, but it has come to pass with what we've got now. It is an environment that lets us put a value of gold into a packet of electrons, send it halfway around the world, and that person can confidently withdraw those electrons and then ask Carrot Bars to send him the gold and they'll get it. All of that is on the blockchain. It's confirmed, audited, all that sort of stuff. So you need to make sure that you understand what's going on with that. Universal value, UNV. A bonus univals that you'll hear people talking about are univals that I have created in Carrotbit. So if I buy gold, I check that I've got univals and that they're coming in, etc. There's nothing I can do about how I control them other than I've bought the gold, converted it into univals, and I've stuck it on the blockchain. If I create bonus univals, I've created that gold value with coins, ABC. Potentially I've used Bitcoin to buy KBC, and I've converted KBC into bonus univals. Now don't get too head up about that. That is going to change very soon, because when the new blockchain goes live in Carrot Pay, you won't need to do that part of it first. We'll be able to put a value into Carrot Pay and use it on the blockchain as a payment process. You can create that value with all manner of different payment types, one of which is KBC, one of which is univals, which we already have. There are many cryptocurrencies available in the Carrot platform, and the Pay Merchant platform. I'm trying to deal with the security of letting people in from the waiting room, and it's not easy to do while you're trying to think through what you're saying. So let's just see what's going on here. There are a number of processes coming through Carrot Pay we've not had before. So if we have a package that lets us, we've created a whole heap of KBC or univals. We then decide we're going to put those univals or KBC into Carrot Pay as univals on the blockchain, gold on the blockchain. We will be technically creating a new coin which we own. And that coin will go off in the payment system and be used and consumed around the world. What it does is it creates a residual income for us because we created those tokens on the blockchain. That's very new and very unique. So we can create univals and own them, the assets we already have in the program. So make sure that you understand how valuable that is, and we will have more details on that in the coming weeks. I don't know the answers to most questions yet. I have a very limited knowledge of how that system is going to work. So we also have the ability today, as we talked about earlier, to buy our groceries and get gold in our pockets, 2 to 5% free gold per transaction. And I am going to ask Ms. Summers to unmute herself and say hello. Unmute there. I've unmuted you, Cassie.
Okay, so now you can hear me?
Yep.
Hey. Yeah, they're the cards, aren't they great? We've got a huge range now, as we've been saying, we've been coming for a long time. Finally got here in about March. March, earlier than that actually, about January. Yeah, and I'm just going to be totaling up and organising the gold benefits for anybody who's continued to buy during this period. So I'm going to be adding up and paying benefits from 3 to 5%, 2 to 3 to 5%, going back to when we last June. So it's going to be quite a lot of dollars that get floated around in your gold. That we have to buy it and then hang on to it for 2 months and then transfer it into people's wallets, their Carrot Pay wallets. But yeah, this system's working really well for us.
Very good.
What else? Do you want to know what's coming in June, like how that's going to work?
Sure.
At the moment, you're still using your old wallet, that where you pay into your wallet, and then you have to wait for me to upload it onto our website. Put that money that you transfer from your bank to our bank. That's how we're still doing it. If you did want to shop before we go live as a K merchant, and we're happy for you to do that. It's really simple to order. The website isn't set up 100% yet for how it will ultimately look in June when we become a K merchant. But yeah, that's underway. We're making little changes all the time. But you can still order any of these cards today, literally today, and you get them shipped to you anywhere. Email. Can we do the SMS one yet, Derek?
Yes.
Yay. So you can get it to your phone. I find the easiest thing is to actually tick email or SMS, and then you can actually go log back into, not log back in, just stay logged in and just go straight to your account, and you can download your cards from there. It's really quick and easy. So it literally takes you a couple of seconds to get your cards. The Wish card that you can see there, that orange Wish card, that is a brilliant card because that's like, they are all Woolies anyway. So there's your Dan Murphy's, there's all of the.
Did you say there's Dan Murphy's there?
Yeah, Dan Murphy. Now you don't know this, Derek, but that's actually, they sell alcohol. That's something that you drink, and you can get get a good strange walk up when after you've been drinking it a little bit. But you know, you don't need to know about that sort of a place. Very corrupting. So the Wish card, that's the whole Woolies group, but they are all anyway. Just because it says Dan Murphy's doesn't mean you can only use it at Dan Murphy's. You can use it at Big W, BWS, obviously Woolworths, Caltex Fuel. Not all Woolies Caltex Fuel take the e-gift card, so you can check that out to see what your postcode is and where the nearest ones are that do take the e-gift card for your Caltex Fuel. What else would you like to know? Oh, that Woolies one, shopping online. Like I just did a pickup of my Woolworths order this morning. I ordered it yesterday, paid with it with my Woolworths e-gift card. Got the note to say yes, ready for pickup. Drove straight in, no contact with anybody, so contact free, I think they call it. And I've got all my groceries for the next week or two. So Woolworths, you can do all of that using your Wish gift card. Cost you no more to shop that way because you get $100, you pay $100, you get $100, but then we pay 2% in gold benefits into your Carrot Pay Gold wallet when that gets set up in June. But anyone ordering between any time from last June through to now is going to get that. Those benefits will flow in as soon as we've got the capability.
And it's saying, is there Coles e-gift cards coming?
When we launch properly, yes, we've got minimum orders, and they aren't going to be on the same platform. This new card supplier, they haven't been able to win over Coles yet. We can still do it, but it means that we have to order minimum quantities, and with the amount of shopping that we're doing, because we're not officially back on with the huge community that we had before. So yes, Coles, stay tuned, you will be getting it, but not right now. We can still do the Coles classic gift cards, which there's a $5 destination fee, because it costs me money to obviously get them shipped here and then to ship them out to people. But that gives you the same 2% benefits.
Okay.
And they're the ones that you can use everywhere. That's the whole Coles group. So that's the Coles group and Myer. So you've got your Myers, you've got your Liquorland, First Choice Liquor, Coles, Kmart, Target, the whole lot. The only thing they don't do is Kmart Tire and Auto.
Correct.
A good card. Anything else?
Okay. Thank you. Thanks for the update.
Did you want to know that when will we have the capability of ordering a different amount than what's on the screen? Like when you,
Soon.
sorry?
Soon.
Soon, excellent. So what that means is when it actually comes in, things like WebJet, and where it's a one-off use. What's the other one that does that, Derek? WebJet and Jetstar.
Jetstar.
Yes, so when that other company that we were associated with, when you had to buy their gift cards, their e-gift card, say you had a flight coming up and it was going to cost you $330, you had to buy a set amount above that. Like you either had to buy $350 and you couldn't use the last little bit of that card. We're going to have our system where whatever the value of that you need, like if you're going to say BCF and you think, well, I don't shop here very often, rather than buy a card and be left with a balance, we're going to have the capability soon in June where you're going to be able to say, how much do I need, and put that in very close. I think it's to the nearest $5, and be able to shop to that value. So you're not left with little dribs and drabs sitting on cards that you may or may not ever use again, forget about, and then it's been a bit of a waste. So I think that's an absolute boon. And the fact that you'll have the gold in your wallet straight away, so you'll be able to shop at the till. So you go, oh, okay, that's what the value, that's how much my bill comes to. Jump on our website, bang, bang, bang. Within seconds, you'll have your card that you'll be able to redeem at the till or online or wherever you're doing your shopping. I think it's brilliant.
That's very good. And I've been testing the SMS platform, and it's very cool because you don't have to wait and you're not arguing with email filters and what sort of email account you've got. It just comes straight to your phone. It's very cool. Jeff Cooper's asked about Bunnings.
No, they are in talks. We were going to, they were getting Bunnings. There was Bunnings and the other one. What was the other one? It was really good. Should be able to look up. But no, I haven't heard that they're actually on yet. But there was Bunnings and another one that was really good. I thought, oh my God, this is going to be fantastic. But yes.
Spotlight, obviously.
we need more quilters in the world, Carol, and more demand.
We need more love, yes.
But yes, it is in the pipeline. Bunnings are really hard because they work on such a low budget. That's why we'll never have things like Aldi and Costco and things like that. So it's, and I know that sounds strange because if you're a trader, you get a really big discount with Bunnings. But as an ordinary person, they just don't offer it at all. So yes, but Bunnings is one of the ones. Some of those ones we don't know what like when they come on, same as Amazon and eBay, they're probably going to have a really small percentage, but we're hoping to get 2%. But and it sometimes changes. Like at the moment, we've just had two downgrades just yesterday that came through where it's going to be less. One JB Hi-Fi was one of them. So that may impact on you guys, or we may be able to absorb it depending on what we were giving you before and what it is now. But JB Hi-Fi is still a great thing to be able to buy JB Hi-Fi with and get gold back on your purchases. Brilliant. Plus, I love the fact that we've got Freedom Furniture and Snooze and OMF, so we've got some really good big ticket items that you can buy. You know, if you're buying a new lounge suite or buying a new table, new bed, God, you can spend $5,000 on a bed. To get 2% or 3 or 4% gold back on that is going to be brilliant. Just bought a bed at Snooze. Oh, take it back. That's poor Kate. Sorry, Kate. When did you buy it? Because we've had these since we haven't been marketing this because we're not really set up. It's only the people who have basically, said, can we shop? Can we shop? Can we shop? Like, okay, keep buying. Yes, that Luxury Escapes. That's the TV show they feature in the TV show. And when we're all able to start traveling again, they're brilliant. Some of the things that where they go and what they offer, and again, they can be quite exy and brilliant to be able to travel and get your gold benefits back on it. 2.5 weeks ago, yeah, you could have bought them. You could have actually bought the gift cards and done that. More gold, how cool, Janet, cool, thanks. Yep, Bunnings. Yep, that's it. Use my Coles ones to buy Bunnings ones. Yeah, well, that's another thing. What Kate's just saying there, not everyone gets to do it. I don't know what the trick is. I used to be able to do it at certain stores when I went to Tara, like when I was living in Tara, I was able to do it at some Bunnings and not others. It's just same as some would. Anyway, it's worth a try. If your local one will let you do it, that's brilliant. And what she's talking about there, you use your Coles gift card, your Coles Classic gift card, to buy a Bunnings Classic gift card in the store, and then you can go shopping at Bunnings. So you've got your 2% benefit on your Coles Classic gift card, and now you're spending money at Bunnings.
You have to do it through your own checkout. You can't do it at the counter where the girls are. It has to be, Bunnings card has to be less than the value of the Coles card you've got.
So not a 1-for-1.
No, if the dollars work that way, you can't buy a $300 Bunnings card with a 250 Coles and a 50 Coles.
Right.
It's one card.
Right.
So you can only do one transaction with your Coles card.
So if I had a $100 Coles card, I can buy a $50 Bunnings.
Yep.
Great.
Simple as that.
Excellent.
No, the expert on that was Mr. Saravalli in Adelaide. He used to do that regularly.
Yes, that's right. That's
okay,
me.
Thank you.
Anything else I should say? I don't think there is there?
You should let me know the day that you're sending that case of red wine over.
Well, a bit like you, I'm not sure what Dan Murphy's does either, so I'm just having trouble actually finding somewhere to sell me one.
Okay. Thanks, Cass.
No worries, darling.
Okay, let's get into this. Open a free account. Load your wallet, as Cassie said. Transfer is the best option, or when the K-Merchant program comes along, which is actually set up. We're just waiting for the ability to transfer KBC into Univals. Make sure you click on electronic gift cards, not e-gift cards. E-gift card tab on the ERC website has some old stock. So if there's a card there that works for you, that's great. It will come as a PDF via email. So there's some super cheap auto and a few things like that left there. But the new ones are on the tab that says electronic gift cards. Select the value, click search, and then choose the brand that you want. and fill in your details, click SMS or email, and you're done. Just quick as that. So let's look at a few other things that are happening in the world. We suggest that you do some research on your own. If you haven't already done this, look up Mike Maloney on YouTube. Listen to and watch The Hidden Secrets of Money. It's an eye-opener. Here's Mike doing another commentary. And a big chunk of this, he talks about Australia, so it's extremely relevant. So just pay attention to what he's saying.
The gold and silver IOUs are falling, even though it's getting very, very difficult to actually find real gold and silver. It's vanishing right now. So they're both falling. And, you know, maybe these IOUs will fall to zero, and gold and silver, you just won't be able to get it at any price. So the market opened way up today, and European car registrations crashed the most on record in March. That is extremely deflationary. China's economy in worst downturn since the 1960s. You need to go and do an internet search on the Great Leap Forward, because the downturn in the 60s is the leftover from what happened with Mao's program right at the end of the 50s, beginning of the 60s. Chairman Mao introduced something called the Great Leap Forward. It was an economic program that was supposed to launch China's economy past that of the United States and create great prosperity for them. And what happened was somewhere between 18 and 60 million people starved to death. It is the greatest man-made famine in history. The historians, the average that they estimate is around 30. The average estimate of all the different historians that have studied the Great Leap Forward. Then go down here, there's over 43,000 U.S. millionaires to get stimulus, averaging 1.6 million each. And all of these different government programs, whatever it says on it, it means pretty much exactly the opposite. This was the CARES stimulus bill, and instead of CARES, it means we don't give a flying, freaking, flippin' finagle about you. You can have your $1,200. We're going to give 1.6 million each to, average to 43,000 millionaires. I think this is, if you don't laugh, you got to cry. So I'd rather laugh. Brett Johnson of Santiago Capital. Does anyone out there think that the state and Fed governments are going to spend all of this money, I think he means currency, time, training to ensure social distancing, testing, and travel restrictions, and then just throw it all away when the virus goes away? I think this is brilliant. I hadn't thought about this, but Brent is right. They're not going, especially like these travel restrictions. Once they've got a digital blockchain currency, they can prevent you from buying gas anywhere outside a certain radius from your own home, or prevent you from buying an airline ticket to a place that they don't want you to travel to, prevent you from making any transactions in a restricted area. So you'd only be able to go to certain countries, certain states or cities or whatever they want to do. If you were able, like if you went to a different country that was still using cash, and you were able to purchase a bunch of cash, but they can restrict that too, to just a certain amount per day, so that you couldn't get enough to actually go to a restricted country and be able to travel around there and stuff. So get ready for total state and federal, the federal control that's coming through the Fed. Michael McDonough, he tweeted the China retail sales year-over-year change. And so there was always this growth. This is 10, this is 20, I believe this is percentage of sales. So there was this growth, 30%. And their GDP figures used to reflect this tremendous growth of their economy. And then this is the collapse in the first quarter. Now, the first quarter contains a lot of the spending in preparation for Chinese New Year. And, it was Wuhan that got the big lockdown, the Wuhan province. not most of the rest of China. And so a lot of the Chinese New Year did take place. You know, it happens from mid-January through early February. And so a lot of sales and stuff for that celebration. So this collapse is basically February and March is what you're seeing here. It would have gone up if the figures had included Chinese New Year and there was no coronavirus. And that reflects on their GDP. And the GDP here, again, from 1992, you've got 15% growth annually, 10% growth annually, it's slowing to 6%. And now you've got a 7% contraction in just the first quarter. So this is each quarter compared to the same quarter in the previous year. That's how they calculate this. Now, Dan just reminded me that China is because of their booming economy over the past 40 years, they've been buying a lot of resources. When they create homes, they had this incredible real estate boom. We went there and we filmed in some of their ghost cities and stuff, and it was just an amazing sight to see that the government would nationalize a whole bunch of land, just bulldoze it and build a brand new city with nobody in it. And eventually they would become occupied over the following 10 years, but they kept on doing this and doing it. So there's always ghost cities in China, and one day something was going to happen and those cities are not going to get occupied. And guess what? Something did happen. But while they were doing that, they were buying all of these resources like copper for wiring and plumbing, and timber and cement and iron to make steel for cars and so on, because they were, the Chinese, the number of automobiles, the growth is just amazing. And where most of those resources came from was Australia, was selling them a tremendous amount of resources. Australia's economy is made by digging stuff up and chopping stuff down and shipping it overseas. And I was there in 2013 and I gave a presentation in Sydney and in Melbourne, and I showed the audience this stat, and the stat comes, I can't remember, I don't see the attribution on this chart, but it was from their own, like the University of New South Wales, or from the Australian Reserve Bank, the Reserve Bank of Australia, or one of it's their own data set, is what I'm saying. And the growth in this century from 5% at the beginning of the century to 30% in 2013, and this probably continued to grow, it's probably 40%. And I told them back in 2013, when China sneezes, you're going to be the one to catch the cold. And right now, they had one of the world's greatest real estate bubbles just a couple of months ago, and that's popping right now because a whole bunch of this national income is going away. So it's they're getting this enormous effect that's like double, triple. I will cover that in a special report video. I want to welcome.
Does that scare anybody? Because historically, we have sold a lot of raw materials to China. Now we're seeing the outcome of that. When China sneezes, it's called Heineken flu. We're going to be in a world of hurt. And we already are, as is the rest of the world. So we've been talking about this for a long time. The gold price is soaring. What's the limit? Who knows? Don't have a crystal ball. The ASX has seen historic plunges. I don't know any other way to say it. But some of our members who were switched onto this decided to move their super funds before this all started and saved themselves 15, 20, 30% losses. So this is the ASX price graph. You can see that it's pretty ugly. Now let's have a look in comparison at the gold graph. That's the 6 months ASX graph. Here's the gold price graph. That's for 2 months. Now that looks ugly. It's just up, down, all over the place. Let's move it out to 6 months. Okay, you can average out a price increase there. Let's move it out to 2 years. Now we've got a serious amount of growth. About 20 years. Have a look at that. over the last 20 years, 510% increase in value. That's astounding. And it's not because gold increases in value. It's because the gold maintains its value compared to the fiat currency system. And that's what happens to every currency in the world when they disconnect from the gold. So what's actually happening? Well, the world monetary systems are failing their people. There's no doubt about that. We are at the mercy of the governments that we elect. This next little video, this guy is really out there. He predicted the fall of the New York Stock Exchange to the day, and he continues to comment on what's going on. This is a reasonably short little video. It's well worth paying attention to what he says.
Okay, everybody, it's me, Gregory Manarino. It is Thursday, April 16, 2020, and here we go. We just got another absolutely... This is terrible to think how people are suffering right now. An abysmal jobs report. Another 5.24 million people lost their jobs. That brings the total in the last 3 weeks to 22 million. We have now erased every single job created since the last crisis of 2008. Over and done with. But remember, the fundamentals of our economy are strong. We know this because the president said it again just the other day. All right. Anyway, look, I can't stand the lies. If the president would tell the truth once, I'll eat my hat. Okay? I have several hats. I'll eat them right here. Anyway, so let's move forward here. So prior to this jobs number being released, stock futures were flat. This horrid number comes out, stock futures go up. It looks like a higher open across the board. However, the 10-year yield came down and the dollar went up. Knee-jerk reaction when things are not looking too good here. So we'll see. But again, we're in a new paradigm. This is a new environment. We've never been here before. It's beyond a managed market. This is a takeover on a worldwide scale by the new World Central Bank. Okay. Now, what else is going on? Gold is higher. Silver's higher. Cryptocurrencies are higher. Crude oil is catching a little bit of a bid here. Let's see what they're able to pull off. Nothing makes sense anymore. Nothing is real whatsoever. I'm telling you, if we found out today that an asteroid was about to slam into the earth, stocks would probably go up. The worse the economic news is, the higher stocks go. And then yesterday you had Jim Cramer. Cramer, are you out there, dude, on CNBC talking about how the fact that there's no connection, which he's right about, with regard to the stock market and the economy. But that's total BS, because we just got an abysmal jobs number and stock futures go up. So there is a connection, Jim. There's a connection here, okay? So maybe you want to start talking about that on your lovely show. There obviously is supposed to be a connection between economic activity and what goes on in the stock market or companies that are supplying products to the world. Jim Cramer, you should know that. It's insane. You can't make this stuff up. There's another one out there. It's incredible. I mean, I don't know. It's absolutely, completely out of control. So basically it comes down to this. Abysmal economic news. We also got housing starts falling off of a cliff. Look, we have no economy. I don't know another way to put this. And I've been talking about it for a while now. There is no economy. We are not in a collapse. We are beyond a collapse, beyond a meltdown. There's no words for where we are here. It's just epic. But again, stock market looks like it wants to go up in this environment as the Wall Street banks buy it all via cash being mainlined to them from the new World Central Bank, the Federal Reserve, who is increasing its flooding of dollars around the world to other central banks. You're not supposed to know that, so don't share this video. It's unbelievable. But again, it doesn't matter what the stock market does. We're going to trade the market we have. That's for my lions out here. With regard to our economy, we're done. We're absolutely done. And despite the fact that the president is saying we're going to get a rapid recovery, I doubt it. Small businesses are being culled, deliberately culled here. So without that part of our economy, which is gone now, and obviously the corporations that are going to take it over, it's gonna take a while for this to for any kind of a real recovery to take place. But we're stuck here for a very long time, and this.
So that's about where I wanted to stop it, because he talks about we're stuck here for a very long time. And you may be wondering why I've spent so much time today talking about how bad things are outside of this group. It's really bad. And if somebody says they don't believe you, ask them to open their eyes. Read the newspaper, watch the news, do whatever they want to do. Listen to it with an open mind, because every economy in the world is in a world of hurt right now. It could be worse, I just don't know how. So people like Greg, who do these commentaries, he watches the markets every day. He was the first one that I heard talk about market collapse, and he actually did a podcast like this and said, I'm selling all my shares today. And the very next day, the market collapsed. So he's pretty well involved in how bad things are in America. And if you think through the maths of some of the things that he talks about, the US Federal Reserve is printing money, giving it to banks. The banks are buying shares, pushing up the stock market. So everything looks like it's okay. But most of the companies they're buying shares in aren't actually trading because they're in lockdown. How is it possible that the share price is going up? It's insane. Anyway, what we have is don't panic, Jonesy, we've got gold. And that's what we need to focus on. So on that note, we are attempting to upgrade the social media marketing so that we've got a couple of issues with it we're trying to get resolved. We hope to get that done early in the coming week. We'll try and get that happening as quickly as possible. I see it as a great opportunity to use the environment we're in to do our own marketing. So now, Mr. Dobson, would you be so kind as to unmute yourself?
Mr. Miller.
Here he is.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Well, what a great call we've had today. It's our first virtual Sunday. I mean, I'm not a virtual person as a rule. I like the social side of things, the stimuli of people and the hugs and kisses we have on our Sunday meetings. But we can't do that for a while, and we get the company of all the interstate people, so that's fantastic. But a thank you on two departments here, mate. Firstly, you got me out of painting this afternoon in the house, which is great. That's all we did all over Easter. And more seriously, what a great team we have here, and what you and Carol, I mean, we spent hours last night going through this, and the likes of Brad Smith and a good mate of mine, Greg Wilson's an affiliate now who has some great social media skills, and he's working with Brad, and they're putting that website you just spoke about together, and we want that to be our go-to, one-stop shop for all of Gold Rocks. I might just, if I can, unmute. Can anyone see that I've got my actual Gold Rock shirt on today? Can you see that? So, I just let you know.
Yep, we can see it, Dobbo. We can see it.
And in the background, there's my Gold Director Elite certificate. Oh, he's showing off. But no, I want to go through a couple of things, because you did make some points there that are doom and gloomish, Derek. But I think because of the company we have, we're in the right place. So first of all, I want to talk about is the two different types of thought patterns that I believe are going to come out after this Heineken flu that Derek calls it. And that is, the first is that most people, they'll be in the habit of watching too much TV and doing very little constructively. I've got to thank everyone that's still on the call. You know, we had a second tea break today, was out of our hands. Let's put it down to rain delay or something like that. But you know, you guys are the exception here. But you know, a lot of people are going to be doing very little constructively. They're going to think the government's here for us and they'll look after us and ScoMo's the man and whatever. But those type of people, I think they're in for a real shock, because the figures that Derek just went through and, you know, pointed out what I believe we're in a recession already, but, you know, so it's going to be tough and it'll be a long road out. So the second type of the ones that have been proactive, and you know, we started this Gold Rocks business back in June last year, and the essence is being able to buy gold in affordable amounts, and that's what we've been able to do. And that nothing has changed there. A few things have come along. We've created an ecosystem. We have a coin now, a KBC coin, which I'm going to touch on in a minute. And the reason why I wanted to come on this afternoon is to talk to you about what I believe is what is the best plan for us. So, you know, get ready. Is everybody ready out there? I think everyone on this call is. So, you know, next is how do we do things from now? If you could just click through to that, Derek. I just wanted to, and basically all I'm going to talk about is the things that I've picked from the big leaders and that are building the business well, and they're creating a lot of momentum. And that's the likes of Nitsanakos and Michael Delco. And I don't know but I'm sure there's quite a few people here that may have met Nitsanakos last year in person when she was on the tour. I know we had the biggest turnout here in Brisbane. She particularly has come up with a formula that's working really well. And it has seen the price of KBC steadily improving quite a bit. So I want to go through that. So basically, what do we do? So for new people, the people that on this call are mainly affiliates, but I've got quite a few new people getting involved, and they're sort of wanting to know what to do. And of course, a few things have changed this year. To say that they haven't been perfect is a bit of an understatement, but I think the company has got it right now with these new gold multi-packs. So get yourself a gold multi-packs. We saw that today. We saw the different amounts that you can purchase. In them is the most important thing. Why would you want a multi-pack? Well, you get gold, but also it puts you in a position to earn extra income from home. Now, who would agree that's pretty important at the moment? So, you know, it doesn't matter. You can spend from €180 right up to nearly 5,000. It allows you to earn not only direct commissions, but like I said, gold. And this is what we're all about. So that's the first thing we do. Then we set up auto exchange. Now this, you've heard me many, many times on these calls say that, pay yourself first. So why would you want to do that? Well, you just saw some slides today, and it's mind-blowing to think, yes, where gold is going, where it is now, and where it could go. I mean, who knows? It may not. But when you look at it, and I'm sure everyone on the call this afternoon would agree, the cost of living, I love popping out and doing the shopping, but what I'm getting, you know, from in my grocery basket, you know, my little tiny grocery bag that I take up, is less and less all the time. It's extraordinary. So, you know, the cost of living is going through the roof. So what we need to do is exchange some of that declining fiat for pure 24 karat gold. So we set it up, even if it's just 1 gram a month. The reason why we talk about at least 1 gram a month is because that sets us up in a loyalty program that the company rewards us with, that gives us over time, if you're someone that wants to talk to other people and build this business, and hey, you know, I'm going to show you some things here, like everyone would want to be purchasing some of this cash gold just for their own good, you know, just to save some from a declining dollar. But what you're going to do here is you're going to be part of a loyalty program over time. As you talk to more people and they talk to more people, that's going to give you free gold. And this is something that Tammy Morrison taught me a couple of years ago. And Roger, you're on the call, I know, and You know, we look up to Tammy. She's one of the highest money earners in the business. So, you know, if she's going to tell me to set up the auto exchange, we both went on the next week and did that. And ironically, we're the two most successful people in Australia in this wonderful team we have, just by following what the people that we want to be like are like. So set up your auto exchange. That's done. Exchange your fear for gold and purchase cash gold weekly. Okay, this is a big one. Now, again, why would you want to do that? So now you also need to put it on Carrot Pay, and I just remind me people to I'm going to try to do a live purchase of cash gold and put it on Carrot Pay after I finish here in a few moments. So just remind me if I forget. So okay, so this is something NHTSA does, and why would you want to do it? Well, first of all, just remember, if anyone's had a look at KBC today, I try to look at it every couple of days. It's the highest it's been since February, and there is a reason for that. So KBC's had a hard time, and we know why. Since its beginning, it was up as high as about 12 cents. It's down as low as where it first started, probably 2 weeks ago. It's had a 75% increase in the last week and a half. And I believe there's a reason for that. And this process that I'm going to go through, you don't have to do this. No one has to do it. I'm not holding anyone's hand behind their back. I mean, but this is just if you want to earn extra coin, you want to save in gold and get free gold. This is what the big leaders suggest, and that's what I'm doing. So you buy cash gold. It's stored for free. It's still the best value gold bullion on the market. And Graham Duck will tell you when he first grilled me a while back in June, I gave him a gram of gold, and I said, this is 24 carat 999.9% pure gold, Graham. And he said, how do I know? I said, well, yeah, go and get it checked out for me. So the cash gold is the same gold. It's just that we use it, we can have it stored for free, but we also use it for purchases of things. The company's made a few different rule changes, and you have to store your cash gold on Carrot Pay for a minimum of 8 weeks. So we do that, and the reason we do that is because it gives us options. Okay, now I'm purchasing a minimum of 2 grams of gold per week. NHTSA says buy gold daily. You know, and let's face it, you don't have to buy a gram of cash gold. You can buy 1/10 of a gram. Does anyone know how much 1/10 of a gram in Australia it is at the moment? I don't know, but I'm saying around $9. So, you know, I'm paying that for my special coffees now because I'm taking almond milk and ridiculous things. So, you know, you don't have to buy a minimum of up to $12. There you go. Okay. There are units involved, so probably a good idea. That's correct. So you're storing, and anyone can do this. I've had people this week that didn't want to build a business, but were worried about their savings. And this one lady bought 24 grams of gold, just a young girl, 24 grams of gold to store, because I told her she could store it for free, and if she wants, she can have it shipped to her. And if she wants, she can put it into Carrot Pay. So she put it into Carrot Pay. She said, can I get it back out? I said, absolutely. You know, if you don't want to do that. Some of the options, we can buy KBC dirt cheap at the moment. Okay, so, and I think every week we might try to do an update on the Monday calls of what KBC is for the day, because I write it in my diary every week. And that's how I know that the fluctuation of prices, it'll do your head in if you check it every 5 minutes, but it's on the up. And the reason why is a lot of people 10 weeks ago in NHTSA's team and a few other teams around the world, the bigger, more proactive teams, were doing this weekly. And after 8 weeks, they were able to purchase KBC. Okay, so it's no coincidence that this is what's happening with KBC. Is that what I suggest you do? Well, I'm saying I'm going to buy some more coin, and I've got a lot of coin. Okay, and some people on this call got millions of coins. So imagine when that starts getting up through the dollars and $2 and on and upwards, and you know, you think about our ecosystem. We spoke about the phones and the laptops and the CEMs and the K merchants, and a lot of that. Yeah, sure, it's on the back burner at the moment, but that's going to happen, people. This will happen, and what will that do for the price of KBC when you're required to use that for all these transactions? Of course, you know, supply and demand, isn't it? So we're going to see a lot of that. There's an auto trading system coming in June. There's a lot of things coming in June that Harold's spoken about. How exciting are they going to be? I don't know. I'm pretty excited about it, but I'm not going to tell you I know everything that's going on. But I know if I'm saving my cash gold, putting on a carrot pay, it's a good thing, a great habit to get into. So, it gives me options at that time to either buy some coin or do whatever else I can. So these are the things that the big leaders are suggesting, and this is why I wanted to come on this afternoon and just talk to this amazing team that we have here in Australia. And I think, we had a slow start to the year, and the profit packs did amazing things last year to a lot of us. Some of the money people were earning was just outrageous, way more than I did. It was incredible. So proud of you. But I think now with this new system, things are going to start, and because more importantly, once no one can talk about anything but COVID-19 at the moment, but once we're out of lockdown, and the reality is that everyone's super's gone the wrong way, the cost of living's gone the wrong way. We're earning less. I know a lot of people I talk to that had to take cuts in their wages and whatever. It just doesn't make sense. But talking to people about saving in gold does. So these are good habits. There are going to be lots of people that will be looking to secure their dollars, their wealth, and to increase their income. So, I think there's a few other things I wanted to get into, but I might just finish up on that, Derek, because, we've had to go over time a bit, but if I can make an emphasis of anything, and that is that, start saving in cash gold, whether it be, once a week or every other day, whatever you can afford. Because after 8 weeks, we're going to have some options. And what's 8 weeks from now, people? It's very close to June, isn't it? It's probably past that. So we're coming into exciting times. Yes, we do get units. What do units do? We saw Carolyn do a magnificent job on explaining that to us. So that's all coming. I'm excited, more excited now than ever. Love everything that you guys are doing out there in the field. I'm going to hand it back. If there's any questions, I'd like to open up the chat and finish this call off and go and have a beer with everyone. Oh, we can't do that. That's right. But thanks again, Derek. Really appreciate what you're doing, and I'll hand it back to you for now, mate.
Okay, thanks, Brent. Harry Lynn just said, has there been any movement on the social media system? And yes, we've had 2 people registered. So it has worked. But yes, there's still a whole lot of bumps and grinds going on with it, but we hope to have them set up and fixed early next week. Here we go. Okay, Mr. Hatherall, can you unmute yourself and have us just a quick spiel on social media platform and where we're up to?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep, all good.
Yeah, okay. So just quickly, there have been a couple of issues with the way they set this up in some of those posts. There see a couple of questions on there about how to hook up your Facebook account from which page. I'll address both of those issues. The first issue with regards to the post, we're getting that fixed. Basically, they set their link up a little bit oddly, so it's not pulling through the full link. There's a code that pulls it through, and it's only pulling through the username at the moment, so there's nothing to click on. That is being addressed. We're meeting with them Tuesday morning to get that resolved for the stuff in April. All the May stuff will be fine as far as that's concerned. We've resolved it for that. With regards to connecting a Facebook account in particular, with Facebook, first step is to connect your actual account. So when you go into the back office and you click that you want to add a Facebook account, it'll ask you which account. Most people only have one. The next step, or the next thing you have to do is then tell it which page. So if you have more than one page, you need to actually select the page that you want. And once you've selected that page, there's been a number of people who have connected their Facebook account. And if people aren't, I'm happy to explain that a little bit more, but they've connected their account, but they haven't then selected the page. So that's why in some cases they won't get posts coming through because they hadn't actually told it which page to put it on, so they didn't know where to put it. If there are any questions around that or that needs a bit more clarifying, what Derek and I will do on the actual webinar replay for the actual Gold Rock social posting, which I believe is on this website that Brad's about to show people to, and that replay is sitting on there. I don't think he was going to show that specifically, but you can go there. From about the 22nd minute on, there is a demonstration of how the platform works and how you connect your accounts and the approval process. So once the posts are up there, you will get an email once this is operating properly around about the 15th of the month, and you go in and you approve the posts. Up the top, you can click one button. If you're happy with them, you can click one button. It'll select all of the posts, and you then just click approve, and then they'll start rolling out the next month. So that should be coming through shortly for everybody. And apologies for some of the issues with particularly with the way the links were brought through. But we'll get that resolved.
Thanks, Simon. We'll go back to Mr. Smith. He now thinks that he's got it working. Stop sharing. There you go, Mr. Smith.
Okay, yeah, thank you, and welcome back. Apologies for the delay. Let me just get that off the screen. There we go. Okay, so on the homepage here, we've got register for an account here. And when we click through to that, it will take you to a page where we give a bit of an explanation in terms of what's going on with both gold rocks and also carrot bars. So to become a Gold Rocks affiliate, they'd simply click this link and fill in some information, but they would need to register a carrot bars account first. So hence the second link. We've got the video that Kate Longley did for us kindly. And if I just play this, I'm not too sure if the sound will come through. But...
If you've joined us from an affiliate link and come to the goldrocks.me website, you're in the best place you can possibly be to get out of the fiat-based currency system that is in place.
Okay, so they've got a little bit of a message here about carrot bars, and they need to do that before they create a Gold Rocks account. There's another registration link here for K merchants, and all that comes through to give you some benefit. Just navigating around the website here, under the webinars, you'll see the webinars that we've had, and they go right back into late last year. You'll be able to click on any of those and review any of the recordings that we've done. Events, these are the events, and then links also to the webinars if you wanted to do that. And all going well, we'll continue the Sunday events, whether online or eventually face-to-face once again, but here's some dates here. It's the third Sunday of every month. All right, but I'll let you run through the rest of that. If you wanted to log into the site as an affiliate, you would click on login at the top, and that would bring you to the Gold Rocks affiliate login page. Now, if you haven't got an account, then you can apply for an account. But I'll just step you through my login account here and just show you what it looks like on the inside. So when you first log in, it comes to your profile and information page. So when you're registered, you should be able to put your username for carrot bars in here. Now, if you got it wrong, there is a chance that you can change that and then come down to the bottom and save the changes if you need to. Other than that, by default, there's nothing in your merchant link. So you'll need to go to your affiliate links inside carrot bars and populate this. Now, put some shortcuts up along the top here because we had a lot of people asking where to find referral links and such, because it might have been a little bit confusing through here. So if you click on just the referral links here, this will take you straight to the page which has it. And these are permanent links up the top. Okay, so to promote Gold Rocks, very simply, that will be your referral link through here. Okay, now that's currently going to the home page. Okay, which is here. And then when people register, it's got your cookie registering them. Okay, so that all comes about from this little bit of coded text, but if you go to another page, that will disappear. Don't worry though, because this is then taken and put in the background into the cookie, and that gives you credit for when people sign up. The other links through here you won't really need to worry about, but these are the links that we're using for sign-up pages, and we tie that back to various buttons that people would use on the site when they're registering. But this is what should be generated automatically for you based on your Carrot username through here. So you can see mine is Surefire Web. Yours might be Make a Lot Out of Gold or something like that. Okay, so no need to touch them, they're just automatically generated, but they're good to check just to be sure that they're working. Okay, so that's a little bit about inside the site. This will change over time. We're still doing a lot of updates here and there, but feel free to have a look around and see what comes up.
Okay, thanks, Mr. Smith.
Okay. I'll hand it back.
Thank you. We will come back to doing this. And here we are back again. Yes. Go that. If you can do some testimonials, that will be good. And Brad has got, where's cat windows gone again? Right, it is over here. Okay. So this is a
Fritz.
No, we're not ready for Fritz yet. I'm feeling like I've missed something, but anyway, we are pretty much at the end of our schedule for today. Has anyone got any questions that they'd like to throw out there at this point?
I have a question of Brad.
Good.
Brad said something about creating your own username through goldrocks.me. Why would someone do that is my question.
Yep, hi Carolyn. So if people have signed up as a Gold Rocks affiliate and they might have done an accident in their username, or if they have a different account, they wanted to change it to a different name, that's where you'd go to update in your Gold Rocks affiliate section, just to correct any errors.
So it's not actually to pick a new name, it's to correct any errors.
Well, yeah, you can pick a new name if you like, or you can fix up an error. Yeah, whatever you want to promote in terms of your Carrot Bars business.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Anybody else got any questions? Maybe missed. Yes. Yes, well, we're thinking about that, Miss Janet. We are, however, considering charging a Mexican hat, a poncho, and a bottle of tequila for people south of the border to join in. Okay. Do you get a request to have Rex the dog again today? So I think we need to have this guy come out and show us how to learn something, because this is a really good video with a really, really good story attached to it.
Fritz was a dog with a positive attitude. He awoke every morning with a keen sense of gratitude. You see, Fritz enjoyed gatherings and festivities. He loved to be around others and participate in activities. Fritz liked hide-and-go-seek, swimming, and playing fetch. But there was one thing he couldn't do. The boy just couldn't catch.
The truth is, Fritz was quite bad, possibly the worst in town. But he knew we're all good at different things, so this didn't get him down. Fritz decided to learn, though he knew it would be hard. So he and his human friend began training in the backyard. To help the boy focus, they trained with foods that smelled delicious, and Fritz agreed not to eat them, for he knew that wouldn't be nutritious. They started with a steak. Fritz's heart began to race, but as he opened wide for the catch, the meat slapped him in the face. They decided to try a donut. Fritz was feeling good about this test, but when he jumped up to grab the donut, it bonked him on the chest. They reasoned they'd try a meatball, something round and a bit smaller, but once again he jumped too soon and the meatball hit his collar. Next up was a taco, crunchy and fully loaded, but as the taco smacked his face, it instantly exploded. At this point, one might think Fritz's interest would be slowing, but he knew the only way to get results is just to keep on going. So training continued on, with more Mexican food this round, but the chimichanga bounced off his chin and plopped upon the ground. Perhaps a fruit or veggie, they hadn't yet tried one of those. A strawberry tossed, Fritz threw back his head, but it bopped him on the nose. Up next was a hot dog. Fritz felt quite focused this day. He nabbed a bit of the bun, but the hot dog still slipped away. Fritz had always loved the smell of pizza, with its cheese, sauce, and bread, but once again the boy misjudged and it landed on his head. After quite some time and effort, Fritz was yet to taste success. Despite his upbeat spirit, even he began to second guess. Fritz's will was feeling weak. He thought, I lack the strength I once had. But I know if I keep on going, my future self will be glad. So they continued with a French fry. Fritz tracked it with his eyes. He opened wide at just the right time, and to his great surprise, he caught it. Was it luck, or maybe just the perfect throw? Or could it be that all his hard work was just beginning to show? Indeed it was, and he proceeded to improve. One thing became clear. Fritzy had found his groove. Fritz took a moment to reflect on how things were. With eyes closed, the boy smiled as the sun shone on his fur. Of course, at times Fritz still misses, as you might have guessed, but he enjoys his new skill, even though he's not the best. These days, when Fritz plays catch, he doesn't think twice. His catching troubles are in the past, but he does have some advice. Don't worry so much about things you can't do. Some things come naturally to me or to you. Others do not, and that's just how it goes. But with practice and patience, our skill level grows.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Isn't that a great story? But thanks everyone for joining us. I hope you've enjoyed the day. Sorry it's taken quite a bit longer with the interruption. Thanks so much for joining us. If there's no questions, I think we all need to go home and have a golden afternoon. Thanks everybody. Appreciate your attendance. Keep thinking about gold and getting better every day.